2 years ago, on the 8th of August at Parliament House in the main committee room, DFAT Secretary Jan Adams, Minister Wong and Minister Conroy all got together with coalition support to launch Australia's first international development policy in over a decade. Some of you might recall it. It's been a bit of a splash for those of us in the sector. As a reminder, for those of you who might have forgotten, the policy came in 3 parts. There was the international development policy itself. There was the performance and delivery framework, which talked about how it was going to be implemented and the accountability measures, and it was accompanied by a development finance review. At the time, ACFID unpacked all the components and gave our breakdown. You can find it on our website. It included what we celebrated, what we thought needed more work, and what we were looking forward to. A quick explainer, some of the announcements were a new civil society partnership fund that was going to be co-designed by government and partners, including civil society. Shrinking civic space is one of the key threats at the moment, so we really applauded this. It also announced a humanitarian standalone public-facing strategy to ensure Australia was well placed to respond to the increasing number of disasters and crises that we have seen since. It introduced a new target of programs over $3 million to achieve climate change objectives and a renewed emphasis on the Sustainable Development Goals. It included the word partnerships 130 times, and civil society was very well represented throughout the document. So, 2 years on now, what progress has been achieved? Transparency has been one area that stood out, particularly within the policy architecture, the documents that underpin the aid program. We've seen 16 new development partnership plans. This refers to the country's strategies, all of which have been launched and developed in close consultation with civil society and representatives from across the sector. There's been a new development transparency portal that's launched, which commentators such as those at ANU are using for audits, and we really welcome that. Program transparency has also been resuscitated by reintroducing the annual Performance of Australian Development Cooperation report. This gives us a clearer picture of the results against performance indicators, how it's being delivered. We've also seen a number of strategies launched, not only the humanitarian strategy, but an international gender equality strategy and an international disability strategy. We haven't seen the LGBTQIA one, but we do hope it will be a top priority for this second term of the government. There was also a guidance note for locally led development that was released. Clearly, people have been very busy writing, making sure that all of this policy work was enshrined, and it took the better part of 2 years. So, where is it still lacking? We still haven't seen the Civil Society Partnership Fund, and for a strategy that was using it as a hallmark of its cooperation with the sector, we feel like this is a bit of a missed opportunity. We would love to see that as a top priority for this new term of government. We also think the money is missing to back this policy up. It had a lot of ambition and talked about genuinely building partnerships and changing the way that we work, but we actually haven't seen that much change in terms of the programs that have been announced. There have been some reprofiling changes that are really important to address the USAID cuts, but otherwise it seems to be pretty much progress as usual. So the words and policy architecture are all there, but a lot of the programs remain the same. We've been really hoping to bolster the great development expertise that we know are in-house at DFAT, but are spread so thinly and being asked to do more and more all the time. We want to make sure those people are backed up and given the support they need. While we'd love to do a sector-by-sector walkthrough, we'll be doing deeper analysis on humanitarian, climate change, GEDC and health, all coming out in policy updates later this year. So how has the policy been on balance? We think it's great. It's not off to a running start, but it's on a gentle walk in the right direction. The main issue is that we need it adequately resourced, and the aid program should be keeping pace with other foreign policy investments. This is why we're asking for the aid program to be equivalent to 1% of federal funding. 1% is not outrageous. 1% is what we were spending from 2005 to 2015 on our aid program. While this is a great policy document, the reality is that we may not be ready to keep pace with the need globally, but also particularly in our region. Many of you would have seen the analysis ACFID's done looking at the impacts of the USAID cuts on Australian NGOs. We know that $400 million worth of programs have been affected. Projects are closing down and offices are closing completely. We want to make sure that Australia, with this great policy architecture, which is invested in our neighbourhood, has a future we can all look forward to, and that is through a safe, secure region where lives are protected.